Using the capacity forecasting tool in Rally. This video demonstrates how to use the capacity forecasting tool in Rally. You can use this tool to produce a range of estimates for the quantity of work that can be completed by a team in a specified time period. The estimates also include confidence levels, which gives an indication of how likely each estimate is to occur. This tool relies on your team's historical Rally data and allows you to stay in Rally while planning your team's work. Now, let's walk through the steps to generate a new forecast. From the Track menu, select Team Board. Select Charts. Select the Capacity Forecast tab. Use the drop-down list to select your desired team. The tool creates an estimate for the selected team only and does not consider parent or child projects. The capacity forecasting tool lets you create forecasts based on throughput or cards and velocity or points. Both options are selected by default when you open the capacity forecasting tool for the first time. In the following example, and for the rest of the video, we will only discuss the throughput or cards for simplicity, but the process is exactly the same if you use velocity or points values. To generate an example forecast, let's assume that we want to estimate team throughput for the next 28 days. The capacity forecasting tool picks 4 weekly work item values at random and adds them together to get one estimate of the total throughput. For example, it picks 6, 4, 1, and 5, or a total of 16. Next, it picks 4, 8, 0, and 7, or a total of 19, and it continues to do this until it has 20,000 estimated totals. Because the tool now has so many estimates of how much work this team might do, it can calculate the probability of any outcome generated in the forecast. For this team, there is a 50% probability of completing up to 16 work items in the next 28 days. Because it is easier to complete fewer work items than more work items, the probability of completion decreases as more work items are considered. There is a 90% chance of completing 8 work items, but only a 25% chance of completing 21. Remember, these values are generated from the team's actual historical data. These risk flags are displayed to help remind users of which outcomes are more likely and which are less likely. The data is sampled at random 20,000 times to produce a larger dataset. Instead of only a maximum of 52 weekly data points, the tool produces 20,000 data points for accurate forecasts of future work. The capacity forecasting tool uses a statistical technique called the Monte Carlo method to produce accurate estimates of future work. This technique uses the historical data of a team as the starting point, and it repeatedly picks sample values from the data to produce a range of possible outcomes. The tool uses your project's last year of historical data as a starting point. It also lets you deselect weeks that you might want to exclude from the forecast. The tool also takes the complexity of the planned work into consideration. The throughput or cards forecast shows the total number of cards completed for the planned duration. The x-axis shows the number of completed cards. The y-axis shows the number of simulations with a specific outcome. On the chart, the min line refers to the number of story points that the team is expected to complete 85% of the time. The median line refers to the number of story points that the team is expected to complete 50% of the time. The max line refers to the number of story points that the team is expected to complete 15% of the time. Show the probability of completing a certain number of cards based on the generated data. Now you understand how to use the capacity forecasting tool in Rally.